Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending from where you are listening from. All right, I'm here again to connect with you. I still remain your healthy life advocate, Promise Okamaka. I'm here again. I'm going to discuss the ways to maintain a healthy liver. Ways to maintain a healthy liver. That's our topic. Okay, let's go ahead. Before we go ahead, I want to welcome all our new subscribers. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, just click the subscribe button. This will give you access to my channel in case of more updates or on health tips or inspirational songs or other things that you need to know. All right, we'll move. It is worthy to know that the best way to fight liver disease is to avoid it. Oh yes, there's this normal saying that prevention is better than cure. I love it when one take proactive measure instead of waiting until when you come down with the illness. One will start running helter skelter. You spend more money, it endangers you. In fact, all the things that you cherish, when they bring it to you, for instance, if you are really down, when they bring your favorite food, the thing will just be like physics to you. You will not value it again. So it's better we take good care of our health now. Certain diseases can be prevented. Yeah, it's better to take proactive measure than allowing our health, to be endangered. So the first thing I want to discuss on how to maintain a healthy liver is maintaining a healthy weight. Yeah, it is important to know that if we, for some that have overweight or that are obese, that can predispose one to having a fatty liver. Have a fatty liver, enough fatty cells in the adipose tissues. And this, when you have fatty liver, it can lead to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. This one is not only for those that take alcohol. I'm still going to discuss the place of alcohol in endangering the liver. But apart from those that drink alcohol, when you have enough fats in your adipose tissue, it can predispose. That's why when we measure what we call BMI, body mass index, it gives us a clue whether somebody is overweight or underweight or has normal weight. It's equally important that when we go for clinical check, you need to intermittently, whether you are sick or not, you need to check your BMI. That's your body mass index, so that you know how to control your weight. Some people will just eat anything and they will just be adding fats, accumulating fats, and maybe when you see them, people will begin to hail, you are looking fresh, you are looking this. when you when you are, even though people might be hailing you outwardly, but they might not know what you are passing through. Oh yes, that's very true. So it's good to check our BMI, that's body mass index. It gives us clue. Are you underweight? Being underweight is not good. Being overweight is not good. It's expected that we'll have normal weight. And some people that are already predisposed to this, maybe they are obese or overweight, it can lead to fatty liver disease, as I've said. So, and fatty liver disease is one of the fastest growing forms of liver disease. you know, People might not notice it on time. You just be accumulating it, accumulating fat until you come down, because the liver, it does several functions, and that's majorly where metabolism takes place. And when these things are accumulated, if it gives it much burden, it might not be able to perform as it ought to do. So weight loss can play a vital role in helping to reduce liver fat. So we should be able, in our normal healthy life, we should be able to, check the kind of food you eat, and once in a while you go to clinics, just tell them you just want to check your weight. They will help you to calculate your BMI, and whether you are at risk. When you notice that, you can begin to take proactive measure so that you will not come down with that. All right. The second thing I want us to look at is about our diet. So the second point in maintaining a healthy liver is eat a healthy diet or balanced diet. We know it commonly as balanced diet. So eat a healthy diet. A healthy diet is not when maybe you eat fried rice and chicken. No. You should be able, I'm not saying eating fried rice and chicken are not okay, but you should be able to know the quantity you eat and the percentage of it that you need. In my earlier video, I told us about the WHO food pyramid, the percentage of different classes of food that we need. If you happen to finish 2 plates of rice, just that rice, and chicken, possibly enough fat, all those things, you're not doing yourself good. Although some people will look at it, they are enjoying. What is the content of what you are eating? It matters so much. I will not forget to mention that carbohydrate, we need it just 5%, protein 15%, fruit and vegetable 30%, then whole grain. Whole grain, we need it. That's the highest percentage that we need, 50%. And if you're not eating according to this WHO food pyramid, you're not doing yourself good. You don't wait until when they tell you your cholesterol is high, your this is high, before you start running helter-skelter. Take responsibility now. Mind the kind of food that you eat. Some of us we are fond of all these high calorie meal, saturated fats, refined carbohydrates like white bread, regular pasta, and sugars. I was discussing with somebody a few days. They say, if I'm taking my tea, if I'm taking my pap, I add enough sugar. Hey, if it is not sweet, I cannot. I just looked at her and said, well, you really don't understand. Avoid raw or undercooked shellfish. Some people will just, grab it anyhow, No, don't. You see shellfish, don't eat it raw or undercooked. Then you need to increase intake of fiber and whole grain. I've mentioned it according to the WHO food pyramid. We need it. That's the highest percentage that we need, 50%. Some of us joke with it. We can get whole grain from cereal. We can get it from whole grain bread. We can get it, fresh fruit. There are different ways we can get whole grain. All these millet, dawa, we neglect. We can get whole grain from there. So don't joke. All those those things that we see and we neglect them, they are very important. So take note of that. Also know that the kind of fats we need are the good fats. There are ones that are called good fats. We have good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. When you do your fasting lipid profile, you have a total cholesterol, triglyceride, high density lipoprotein and low density lipoprotein. There are ones that are called bad cholesterol. That one, if it is increased, it then means it's threatening your health. But the good one, it is expected that you have those ones. So there are ones we call good fats. Those ones are monosaturated and polyunsaturated. You can get that from vegetable oil, from nuts, from seeds, from fish, just like this oil that you see in, fish, like salmon oil. We have it even as a supplement. We have what we call omega-3 or salmon oil plus. It's a new life product which you might need. So you need to take that one. Let me also mention the third thing that we need to maintain a healthy liver is that we need to be hydrated. The importance of drinking water cannot be overemphasized. We need to be hydrated. Some of us will just feel, we'll just take water when we feel like taking. Maybe in a day, we'll just take less than even 50 cl. We'll just rush out in the morning. We won't drink again. We are just busy pursuing money. Let's understand that we need to be hydrated. It helps, at least when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you take water. It helps to activate your system. It's very important in metabolism. If get hydrated, even your kidney, if you are dehydrated, that is lack of intake of water, even your kidney will be endangered. So let's not forget, that's the third point. The fourth one I want to remind us is that regular exercise is very important. That's the fourth point. When you exercise consistently, some people they will come out from their house, enter the car, from drive to office or to market. They will just sit down one place. When they dismiss, they will come out, enter the car again. They don't even have opportunity of, moving for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or even moving about. Is wrong. And when they do that consistently for a very long time, it affects their health. Sometimes when you stay in a place too long, your legs will begin to swell, telling you that you need exercise so that those things will not just accumulate there. So we need regular exercise. It helps to burn some fat like triglyceride and also reduce fatty liver. That's the fourth point. Let's look at the fifth point. Avoid toxins. Avoid toxins. Toxins are very dangerous to our health. They are very. I've mentioned what if you have listened to the former video I released, you will understand what toxin is, and it's not good for our health. So we should avoid it because this can endanger the liver cells. If the liver cells are in danger, that's why when you go to do what we call liver function test, when you enter a laboratory or when you come to the hospital and you are asked to run a test called liver function test, when you run this investigation, you begin to see if the liver is endangered. You will see that liver enzymes, they will be increased, and you begin to wonder, what happened? This can be as a result of certain toxins, and these toxins, it can harm your liver. And when the liver is endangered, it will compromise its function. I've told us that major metabolism take place in the liver. So when the liver functions are compromised because of these toxins or other things, that is when someone will come down with liver disease, so many things. So limit direct contact with toxins, either from cleaning or aerosol. Some of us, some that use insecticide, when you spray, you don't need to be there. You don't need to inhale it, because these certain chemicals and additive can endanger your liver. Let me fully mention, that's the 6th point now. There are some that they cannot do without alcohol. At one of the days, I entered a mall and somebody just entered and say, hey, we're just talking about need money to that you used to drink that, just 3 bottles. Okay for him. I just said, only you 3 bottles? These things are inimical to your health too. I actually realized that the person is already addicted to it and he cannot stay without taking alcohol. I want to beg us now, apart from maybe, the Christian faith is not, the Bible says, don't be intoxicated with wine, give wine to those that are perishing and all those things, is inimical to our health. I know it's not always easy, especially when you are already addicted to it. It's not easy to stop it. But if you are in doubt, can you just maybe one day just devote, just map out time, come to FMC or come to any tertiary hospital, teaching hospital, and just maybe tell any of the medical personnel that you want to see a patient with liver disease, and all those things. When they show you, my dear, the run, the distance you create between whether it's alcohol or anything that will make you to come down with liver disease, nobody will beg you to stop those lifestyle that you are you are struggling with, that will endanger your health. If they said alcoholic drink, because alcoholic drink can predispose you to liver disease. We saw what fatty liver can do. That one is non-alcoholic liver disease. But this one is that alcoholic drink can predispose you, it can endanger your liver, and you come down with liver disease. So it's better to avoid it. Certain food we eat contain alcohol. That little alcohol, that quantity in that food is enough for us. Yes, is enough for us. Even some of the drinks we take, some of the either wine or soft drink, it contain certain alcohol as a preservative and all those things. But those minute ones, they are enough. So don't go and start, drinking. There are some that, they already have underlying illness. And I know of somebody that died. He already had underlying illness, and he went to place where they are sharing things. They were doing one ceremony. They were free drink. He kept on drinking until he couldn't get himself. Unfortunately, that man died, leaving his family behind. The children were still so tender. So it's very unfortunate. So let's be careful how we, I've told us that I love it when you take proactive measure. Don't just wait until your case becomes so bad and you wait, and when you rush to hospital, when you come to hospital, you you start punishing the medical personnel, because when the cases are bad now, It subjects us to so much pressure, because in a bid to get the patient stabilized, and all those things, it's not always we love it. At least when you are still with yourself, you're working, you are a little bit stable, you are coming for medical checkup, at least it's better. Let's talk about another point. Avoid smoking. Smoking can endanger our health. That advert that they say smokers are liable to die young, some of us will just look at it and just an advert. It endangers our liver. Even our lungs are endangered when we smoke. So I don't need to, of course, you should know this. I don't need to waste more time on that. So the seventh point, okay, or the eighth point now, avoid self-medication. Some of us will just, I've handled one patient that the unfortunate thing was that, or let me not say unfortunate thing, he is a chemist man. He sells drugs in one popular market like that. And even though he just learned how to sell drug, it's not as if he's a medical personnel anyway. He just dispenses drug. But what happens is that each time he has any symptom, he will just pick one or two drugs and take. Unfortunately, he took drug that endangered his system. And when he came to my office to run certain investigation, when I did that, I realized that this young man had hepatitis B virus. Sometimes some of the drugs that we take, maybe over-the-counter drug not prescribed, maybe just somebody coming down with illness, maybe having symptoms. I want us to understand that symptoms overlap. Somebody might be having headache, as a result of a malaria parasite, or as a result of bacterial infection, maybe salmonella typhi or other things. The other person his or her own might be as a result of parasitic infection. The other person might be as a result of bacteria, but two of them are still having headache. If somebody that has headache as a result of bacterial infection maybe happen to take antibiotics and it goes, such one should not go and tell the person that has headache as a result of parasitic infection that if you take antibiotics that it will go. And because I took antibiotics and my own went, if you take no, it's not ideal. It's not ideal. So we should be able, if you need, if you know you have any issue, you are having certain, seek for medical attention. Seek for medical attention so that some investigations will be done. Then, so that when you start taking the drugs, it will be directed to the underlying illness and you will treat it. Let's understand that all drugs are poison. It's the dose that matters. Even paracetamol taking a higher dose can endanger the kidney. So let's be careful about that. For some that use illicit drugs, it's not ideal. Please refrain from that. Refrain from that. Okay? Another point is avoid use of contaminated needles or sharing sharp objects. Some people will use a razor blade and just keep it. Another person will use, they will keep. No, it's very wrong. For those, maybe if you are sick, of course, thank God we have disposable needle and syringe. Please make sure that one person uses the syringe and needle. Don't use it, don't recycle it for another patient. Very important. So finally, let me equally mention that if you must maintain healthy liver, for those that have multiple sex partners, please, I plead with you, refrain from that today. If you are married, stick to your husband or your wife. Stick to one sex partner that should be your husband or your wife. If you are single, stop test running. Oh yes, God is not even happy with that. So some of them that run from here and there, you want to gratify the sexual desire, you are endangering your health, because the person you want to sleep with, you don't know the kind of a infection that he or she is carrying. I've attended to so many patients in my office, and you will see somebody, when you look at them, the person might look healthy, but it's only when we run certain investigation, we run tests, that we know that this one has this one has this. So please be disciplined. The best way to run to avoid this is to run away from premarital sex, run away from adultery, run away from multiple sex partner. If you're married, stick to your partner. All right, I will be stopping here. If you have any question, feel free to drop your question in the comment box. If you got value from this, feel free to share with your friends. If you're a new subscriber, just hit the subscribe button on my channel for more updates, then hit the bell notification so that whenever I upload, you will get the notification. Thank you so much. It's a nice time connecting with you again. I still remain your friend, medical practitioner, healthy life advocate, a worshiper, an Amazon publisher. Promise, Okamaka. God bless you till I come your way next time. Bye.